This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by Raycon Everyday Earbuds. Today's video is important as well. A lot of stories are coming out, a lot of reporting is being done, a lot of information relative to the investigations that are underway is being made public. And today's story and the thing that we're going to talk about relates to those two separate prongs of the public information, the investigation and journalism. There's been a lot of talk about a back channel. Like, how is this thing so organized? The insurrection, the failed coup, the attempted overthrow of our government by way of overturning a free and fair settled American election. How did it happen the way it happened? And you're going to be hearing in the coming days, in the coming hours, about where did exactly the back channel from the White House to the Supreme Court and these other disparate organizations, who was in that role of the back channel? And now we're finding out, especially related to the Supreme Court, that they did have a back channel. I was absolutely going to talk about this story about Ginni Thomas. Not only did Ginni Thomas attend the Stop the Steal rally, Clarence Thomas's wife, the wife of a sitting justice on the United Supreme Court. Not only did she attend the treasonous Stop the Steal rally, the anti-democracy Stop the Steal rally, she also emailed Arizona lawmakers trying to get them to not certify the election. She was in contact with the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, giving him advice and counsel on how to behave and who to have in the White House running these certain operations. She was a big fan of Sidney Powell. And now we're learning she was also in contact with this anti-democracy lawyer of Donald Trump, or at least involved with Donald Trump, John Eastman, who wrote the entire criminal conspiracy legal memo about how Mike Pence should interfere in our democracy. He ultimately did not. But I'm going to read from, it also goes to show about exactly how good reporting can be, even among journalists that I'm not super fond of, like Maggie Haberman. This first is from the Washington Post, which outlines these emails and how Ginni Thomas was in contact with John Eastman, who used to be a clerk for Clarence Thomas, which up to this point I haven't really talked about because I didn't feel it was germane. But now, after the reporting from the New York Times and Maggie Haberman, we know that it is absolutely relevant to the criminal conspiracy that was underway to try to keep Donald Trump in power, despite the 81 million plus votes for Joe Biden. I'm going to get to all of this. Stick around. This is bombshell stuff. Before I do, a word from today's sponsor, Raycon Everyday Earbuds. I spend most of my days in front of various pieces of tech gear and software. I'm always looking for products that can enhance my efficiency. This can make for a fair bit of waste though, as there are plenty of purchases I have made on a whim or with a specific use in mind that I quickly end up casting aside. Not so with Raycon's Everyday Earbuds. These earbuds are ideal for all of my everyday needs. Whether I am editing videos on a conference call, on an exercise bike, or even out walking my dog, with their super hi-fi sound and 32-hour battery life that allows for 8 hours of continuous playtime, my Raycons are constantly in use. Not only do I use my Raycons every day, I use them all day. Enhance your every day. Head to buyraycon.com/Dollemore or click the link in the description now to get up to 15% off of your first purchase of Raycons. These earbuds excel far beyond their tech specs alone. Their optimized gel tips not only make them comfortable, but they also fit perfectly and they don't fall out of your head. These are super durable and built to withstand even a trip through the washing machine. Raycon offers multiple color options so you can easily coordinate them with your wardrobe if that's your thing. And they are half the price of other premium audio brands. I mean, 50,000 five-star reviews can't be wrong, right? Meet your ears, new best friends. Go to buyraycon.com/Dollemore or click the link in the description to support this channel and to access up to 15% off of your Raycon purchase. Evolve your everyday with Raycon earbuds. So let's get into this Washington Post story. The headline, Ginni Thomas corresponded with John Eastman, sources in January 6 House investigation say. And then we're going to go to this just hours ago was broken from the New York Times. Trump lawyer cited heated fight among justices over election suits. In an email weeks after the election, another lawyer advising Trump campaign responded that the prospect of wild chaos on January 6 could lead the Supreme Court to take up a case. Now, you may ask yourself, why is this important? Who cares that some lawyer knows what's going on at the Supreme Court? Well, just as you've witnessed the fervor over the leak of the Samuel Alito written majority opinion to outlaw Roe v. Wade, you're not seeing any of that fervor or that interest in this particular story from the right because it doesn't suit their narrative. But there is typically quite a bit of secrecy surrounding the Supreme Court, especially related to internal deliberations. And you're going to hear about screaming matches and all kinds of other stuff. But what this means is that the White House had a back channel into the inner workings of the Supreme Court and what was being talked about in private. And how would they have that? Is it through Ginni Thomas? Is it through a direct line to Clarence Thomas? We're going to find out. Ultimately, we are going to find out. I'm going back to this Washington Post article, though, to give you a little bit of a baseline before we read from this New York Times article. Ginni Thomas, again, corresponded with John Eastman, sources in January 6 House investigation say. The House committee investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol has obtained email correspondence between Virginia Ginni Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, and lawyer John Eastman, who played a key role in efforts to pressure Vice President Mike Pence to block the certification of Joe Biden's victory, according to 3 people involved in the committee's investigation. The emails show that Thomas's effort to overturn the elections were more extensive than previously known, 2 of the people said. The 3 declined to provide details and spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive matters. The committee's members and staffers are now discussing whether to spend time during their public hearings exploring Ginni Thomas's role in the attempt to overturn the outcome of the 2020 election, the 3 people said. The Washington Post previously reported that the committee had not sought an interview with Thomas and was leaning against pursuing her cooperation with its investigation. This would be a mistake. This would be, in my opinion, this would be another instance of showing deference to political opponents in the spirit of respect for the process, respect for institutions. That, like when you see on C-SPAN when there's a debate on the House floor or the Senate floor, and they're talking about my good friend across the aisle, the gentleman from Mississippi or whatever. There's too much of that going on that doesn't lead us anywhere. It doesn't promote progress. It doesn't get to the bottom of the attempted overthrow of the United States government. Continuing in this Washington Post article. The 2 people said the emails were among documents obtained by the committee and reviewed recently. Last week, a federal judge ordered Eastman to turn over more than 100 documents to the committee. Eastman had tried to block the release of those and other documents by arguing that they were privileged communications and therefore should be protected. Thomas also sent messages to President Donald Trump's White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, as I earlier mentioned, and to Arizona lawmakers, as I earlier mentioned, pressing them to help overturn the election. The Post has previously reported this. While Thomas has maintained that she and her husband operate in separate professional lanes, her activities as a conservative political activist has long distinguished her from the other spouses of Supreme Court justices. Any new revelations about Thomas's actions after the 2020 presidential election are likely to further intensify questions about whether Clarence Thomas should recuse himself from cases related to the election and attempts to subvert it. And this is why this next and final paragraph from this article that I'm going to read. It's a more extensive article. I will link to it below. Go read this entire article. But the reason there are questions about Thomas's role is because of this very thing. In January, the Supreme Court rejected a request by Trump to block the release of his White House records to the House committee investigating January 6th. Clarence Thomas was the only justice to dissent siding with Trump. Clarence Thomas, the husband of Ginni Thomas. Clarence Thomas, the husband of Ginni Thomas, who is in direct email contact with almost 30 Arizona lawmakers trying to get them to subvert democracy. Clarence Thomas, the wife of Ginni Thomas, who is in direct email communication with John Eastman, who is at the tip of the spear with Donald Trump trying to subvert our democracy. Ginni Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, who is texting Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, instructing him, giving him counsel, giving him encouragement relative to subverting our democracy. And then this morning, the New York Times with this headline, Trump lawyer cited heated fight among justices over election suits. In an email weeks after the election, another lawyer advising the Trump campaign responded that the prospect of wild chaos on January 6th could lead the Supreme Court to take up the case. A lawyer advising President Donald Trump claimed in an email after Election Day 2020 to have insight into a heated fight among the Supreme Court justices over whether to hear arguments about the president's efforts to overturn his defeat at the polls. Two people briefed on the email said. The lawyer, the same lawyer we're talking about, John Eastman, made the statement in a December 24, 2020 exchange with a pro-Trump lawyer and Trump campaign official over whether to file legal papers that they hoped might prompt 4 justices to agree to hear an election case from Wisconsin. He had insight into a heated fight. Heated fight. So the odds, this is a quote, so the odds are not based on the legal merits, but an assessment of the justices' spines, and I understand that there is a heated fight underway, Mr. Eastman wrote, according to the people briefed on the contents of the email, referring to the process by which at least 4 justices are needed to take up a case, he added, quote, for those willing to do their duty, we should help them by giving them a Wisconsin certification petition to add into the mix. And the criminal conspiracy gets deeper and wider the more we know about it. And this is knowing more about it. That colleagues in the cohort of Ginni Thomas, who is the best friend, as they refer to themselves, of her husband, Clarence Thomas, is cavorting through email and communications about overturning the election with the man who is devising the legal plan, with the same man who is devising the legal plan who used to clerk for Clarence Thomas. Again, this is stuff I've known for the entire time he's been involved that he clerked for Clarence Thomas, but it wasn't really germane, and I don't want to spin off into conspiracy land. But we're here now. More information has come to light. This is a blockbuster story that you need to share. If you don't like sharing YouTube videos, go into the description, at the bottom of the description, find these articles and share these articles. Make yourself aware and knowledgeable about what is going on, because our democracy is absolutely in peril. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate your time, your engagement with my content. I appreciate your support. If you do support through become a channel member or go over to Patreon, follow me on social media at Dollemore, just about everywhere. It is big days ahead. Big days ahead. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.